Welcome everyone, you're listening to Nephology, the podcast dedicated to crypto, accounting, business, finance and much, much more. I'm Joe David, the founder of Nephos Group in Minor. Please note that all conversations recorded are professional opinions, and if you'd like to know more or gain support, please reach out to the team directly. Now on to the next episode. Welcome everybody to the latest episode of the Nephology podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Gareth Cleverly today. Hello, Gareth.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad at all. Thank you very much.
I would say long time no see, but it isn't.
Yeah, I see you more than my wife. At the moment.
No comment.
Pros and cons.
Yeah. We were just literally talking, and obviously we have spoken on this podcast before in the early days, and I think that was the first time we actually met was minutes before the podcast went live, and things have moved on quite a lot since then. But things have moved on with you guys because you were Daxi at the time. So why don't you just give a quick refresher on who you are and who Wealth 99 are?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Gareth Cleverly. I'm the Director of New Business and Education. Let's emphasize education because that's super key and one of the reasons why we partner with you guys, as you know, for Wealth 99. So Wealth 99 was previously known as Daxi, which stands for Digital Asset Community Exchange. Don't forget the international at the end. And we are, we're a company that kind of formed out of the birth of our own use case for our own coin, which you know inside and out. But as we progress to introducing clients to get on board with our own coin in the pre-sale days, we discovered that we have the ability to look after clients in a way that we think is the right way with an investment such as crypto, which is a bit convoluted, a bit crazy. One side of the room is scared to death of it. The other side of the room is all in. And that hasn't changed. It's actually probably got worse, I think, over the last 2 or 3 years. So the platform itself now has grown and evolved into, in my opinion, am I biased? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
But in my opinion, a platform that for somebody, even like me, everybody thinks, look, I work for a crypto company. I look after clients all over Europe and mainly in the UK, but we have a scattered number of clients around Europe as well. They all think that I'm a day trader. They think that I sit at a computer in front of 15 screens pressing buttons all day. And they all think I make $1 billion every 5 minutes. Well, most of the time I'm like, well, no, it's just not how it works. You'd actually be quite surprised how simple what we offer, what my day-to-day is. My day-to-day is talking to clients and giving them factual information about a question they may have. Yeah. And that's what our Wealth 99 platform has evolved to be. A safe, secure, comfortable environment for people to learn and then get involved in digital assets for their financial well-being and financial future in the same way they see an asset such as stocks and shares, bonds, and all those non-performing assets. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
I thought you were going to say boring.
I nearly said boring. But crypto can be boring, and it should be to a degree. If it's not boring, then you're probably getting a bit too obsessed and looking at it too much. But the more boring crypto is, the happier you are.
Yeah, true. And what does Wealth 99 mean?
So Wealth 99, as you can see there. We have a firm belief with our own use case of our coin. I'll keep going back to that because that kind of is the genesis of it, the reason why we exist. So I won't apologize for going back to the core beginning of why we're here today. We believe that cryptocurrency and the technology behind cryptocurrency has the ability to make wealth available to the 99%. So, let's go back, in history, there was 10 families that owned 99% of the wealth in the world. Well, is that fair? And then there was the rest of us. Obviously, things have come along well now with obviously technology. However, we believe that with the ability to tokenize any asset, and blockchain allows you to do that, we believe that the investable opportunities that haven't been available to the 99% previously are now available to the 99%. And what do I mean by the 99%? Little old me sitting on my couch like this with my laptop thinking, oh, that's a good investment opportunity I can get involved in. Blockchain technology allows me to press a button and invest into that with smart contracts, safety, security, and owning it on the blockchain. That wasn't available previously. And those investments that are profitable really only went to hedge funds, the big banks, the big families, whatever you want to call them. And Wealth 99 was born out of the opportunity to have opportunities available to the masses that wouldn't have been available to them before blockchain technology and cryptocurrency became what it is today.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a loaded question because I knew the answer.
I know you know the answer.
But, you know, that is one of the reasons why I do really like what you guys are about and what you guys do is that whole, you know, inclusive part of what you are trying to do. It's not about, you know, don't get me wrong, we all like the big tickets. The big tickets are always good. We don't turn away big tickets. But at the same time, you know, we do want to help the smaller end of the spectrum. We do want to help those people that are just getting... I mean, I talked to you about... so I currently invest into a junior ISA.
Yes.
I haven't done it yet, but I need to flip that so that instead of investing into that junior ISA for my kids, I'm investing into the Wealth 99 platform on effectively a recurring buy, where I keep investing into Bitcoin, you know, while they're young and whatnot. So, you know, it's little things like that is a model for you that you're quite happy, you know, quite happy to take that on, quite happy to facilitate that. Do you know what I mean? And it's different for an exchange, if I can call you that, to be that way inclined.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people think that we can't do that.
Yeah.
But
or that you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, but we look at crypto and we approach it from a point of view as an investable asset class. We talk about this all the time. Me and you have quite a lot of jokes about specific asset classes that I know you're a fan of, and I am a fan of in my own version of investing in a different way. But in terms of our platform, we want to make it as safe, secure, and let's use the word boring, because because if you're invested into a new altcoin that's just hit the market, like PEP, let's use PEP as an example because that's the hot topic at the moment. That's a scary investment to make. If you're not fully aware of the ups and downs of what that altcoin that has no use case will do, or can do, or won't do, then for somebody who wants to put their hard-earned money as an investment over a period of time into an asset like that, I don't think that's a good call. That's somebody who knows what they're doing. You know, somebody like you who, you know, has various strategies, has a pot of money that they like to, let's use the word, gamble with. But for, you know, a typical client of mine, I spoke to a lovely lady this morning who lives out in France, bless her, and she nearly made me late, actually.
Luckily for you, I was late too.
Yes, I had to cut her. I said, look, I've got a meeting to go to. I'm going to have to cut you off right now, and we'll have to catch up again. You know, she's an investor. She's invested into property all her life. She's made her money from that. She now is a fan of cryptocurrency from the point of view of what it can achieve and what it does from a decentralized point of view. And you know, and I'm happy to say this out loud, but she doesn't understand it. What does decentralized mean from a point of view of Bitcoin? It's not a case of, well, there's no one individual person making decisions. That's the core of what decentralized means, but there's a lot more to it, as we know. So it's a case of me then just giving factual answers to questions about, is it right for your investment portfolio?
Yep.
What do you expect it can do? I'm sure you've read all the newspapers and you probably think, I'm going to invest into crypto and I could make £1 million from my pound coin investment tonight. Well, let's be honest, that isn't going to happen.
No.
With respect, you're crazy if you think that's going to happen. So let's look at it from a point of view of, what does it do? What can it do for the long term? And what's your investment strategy? And that's kind of how we approach it. So when you approach something with a wealth mindset, there's the two core questions that always come to the forefront. Number one, security. If you're going to buy a bar of gold, where am I going to store it? Well, I want to store it safely and securely in a vault. Do I want to do it myself? Probably not. No. So who am I going to trust with that? And crypto should be no different to the approach with regards to where am I storing my hard-earned investment opportunity. And, you know, people think that, oh, well, I'll just pick the number one on Google. Think outside the box. How important is that one Bitcoin that you've just purchased to you? Well, it should be super, super important, because how much is that going to be worth in 10 years? And then the second thing is tax. So prime example with you guys, why we've partnered with you. Anybody that's invested into things from a wealth point of view, they're probably a savvy investor. Somebody's got their head screwed on as such. And the two questions, safety, security, what's my tax liability? So what we did is try to think outside the box. Also from previous roles that I've done before with investment opportunities, there's investable opportunities that can invest in alternative assets and have been around for, 50 years or more. Things like SIPs, SASs, ISAs, they call them wrappers in some sort of way, but these aren't invented or controlled by us or crypto. These are things that have existed for 50 years. We've just said, okay, well, can Bitcoin be an asset that can fit into that ISA, fit into that SaaS? And the answer from the people that control, the trustees, is yes, it bloody well can. Brilliant. Well, can we help your clients have access to that if they want it? And that's kind of how it was born. And we're working very hard to kind of grow other opportunities for our client base, to have those taxable benefits, and also have other ways and other funds from their businesses. The ISA itself is more of a company director's ISA, because obviously company directors are more sophisticated investors in the eyes of HMRC and so on. So yeah, we really do want to make other opportunities available rather than just people, I've got 200 quid spare now, quick, let's buy some more Bitcoin. Yes, that still exists. Of course you can do that with us. But when you talk about wealth, people look at it from a different perspective, different angle, and we really want to tick those boxes for our client base.
Yeah, and the word wealth just means something different, right? It even the word, saying the word out loud, it sounds like something that's very important, that is long term, that's the future of your family and all that. So it does all the business. It does very much feel kind of powerful as a word, doesn't it? And that kind of, I guess, leads us quite nicely onto, you mentioned, when people look to buy crypto, or when they look to, invest in it, however you want to phrase it, they Google, where do I buy crypto, and the likes of Binance and crypto.com and people like that obviously come up. I don't know exactly when this is going to go out, but as yesterday, so what day are we today?
Tuesday the 6th.
Tuesday the 6th. So as of yesterday, Monday the 5th, Binance got subpoenaed by the SEC, or charged by the SEC, however you want to call it. And we don't know, as of this conversation today, the impact that will have on some of these other firms. So we just need to kind of maybe caveat that piece slightly there. But what I find really interesting about that is you guys don't have that issue. That will never happen. Never may be the wrong word, because you never know. You can't guarantee things in life. But you guys are set up so differently. And one of the things we wanted to talk about today was about whether you believe you're a trader or not, and actually whether you are a trader or not, right? And so I thought, why don't we start with that piece around why are you guys different to a buyer? And we don't need to touch on the legalities of what's happened to them and all that sort of stuff, and we're not criticizing them in the slightest, but why are you different?
Absolutely. Number of different reasons. User interface, the journey, your starting point to your end point, whatever that may be, support. So let's start with the user interface first and foremost. So I love this heading, so you think you're a trader. I've used it before. I probably spend, at the moment, with every new client, the first 10, 15 minutes of the discussion explaining to them that you're not a trader. And the reason is this, and I try to do it in the nicest professional way I possibly can.
Is that possible for you?
No, not really. I struggle with that, I must admit. Because honesty it just has to be in this industry more than anything that's come before it. Honesty and factual information has to be the core of the discussion that's had. And I'm quite passionate about that. So if I come across as argumentative, the reason why is because I think the information somebody else may be giving that person is just wrong, and I'm not going to apologise for that. And you've seen me in action.
I mean, we're very similar in that sense. Luckily, we have very similar views on a lot of stuff, so we don't get too much arguments.
Yes,
but
we're fine, but you've seen me in action with others. So the user interface itself. Look, traders. What is a trader? Let's forget crypto for a minute. Let's go back before crypto even existed. Let's go back to the year 2005 and before then, as an example. So what is a trader to everybody in that scenario? Well, a trader is somebody that's trained, somebody that's experienced, somebody that's shadowed a professional trader. We've all seen The Wolf of Wall Street. We've all seen him sit there and have a mentor, and for a number of years sit there and watch them shadow before they're even allowed to spend any money from the fund. Well, why should that be any different with crypto? So what people do is they think, oh, I've bought some Bitcoin, I've got some Ethereum, I've got some Litecoin, Cardano, some Dogecoin and some PEP. Yeah, I'm a crypto trader. Well, no, you're not. So how many times have you logged in, bought? Oh, I've bought about 15 times over the last 3 months. Well, you're not a trader. Yeah. You're just buying an asset. And it does frustrate me quite a lot. So again, putting crypto to one side, let me give you an example in the way of why people think they're traders and they're not from an everyday asset class. So let's look at stocks and shares. Stocks and shares exist for day trading, but those same stocks and shares also exist for long-term investment mindsets. So you can trade Netflix, Amazon shares, day to day, 50,000 trades this one day, for example. But there's also a strategy on the other side that people buy Netflix shares and ignore them for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Buy Netflix shares and ignore them for 3 years. Crypto is exactly the same. There should be the traders that sit there and do their day-to-day thing non-stop. And I think that you'll be able to answer this question. The terminology from HMRC about what a trader is something like, was it 1 million or more trades per annum?
Yeah, I think that's an ever-changing beast for them, because you know what it's like with crypto. You can get a lot of trades with not actually a lot of trades. But yeah, I agree. They have a very high bar on what they class as a trader because they tax it differently.
Exactly. So our average client over the course of a 3-month period logs in 10 times. Sometimes they don't even do anything other than just check their portfolio. They might load some more money and buy some more Bitcoin. They'll dollar cost average in using our auto buy feature. But they'll just, and they think they're traders, but they're not. They're just buying something for the long-term growth. So
just to ask you a question on that.
Yeah.
If we were to flip that, so let's take another platform in the traditional sense. So let's take Hargreaves Lansdown, because they're probably a similar platform in terms of what they offer from a traditional stocks and shares perspective.
Good example.
As you guys, right? If I went on to Hargreaves Lansdown, and I do have a thing on there, and I bought a couple of shares, and like you say, you know, I might be buying Apple because I think that they're going to do well over the next couple of years and things like that. And there's every chance that actually they do well over the next 2 months, and then I decided to sell it and stuff like that, because if I see an opportunity, I take it. But I wouldn't consider myself a trader in any shape or form. And if I then take myself onto your platform and I start doing a similar thing, so I buy Bitcoin because I think it's 2 years, it's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. And then in a couple of months, it becomes, you know, huge profit, and I want to take that way. All of a sudden, you believe you're a trader. And that's where do you see that? Why is that mindset different? Why do people have that different mindset, if you like, between traditional stocks and crypto, and what makes them think they're a trader in crypto but not in stocks?
That's a great question. I think crypto is the problem there.
Yeah.
I think because crypto was born from this, the decentralized nature, decentralized platforms like SushiSwap, Uniswap, and Binance, and the way that it's presented to you. So the user interface is probably key answer to that question. If you do the Google search and you find Binance, Qcoin, Crypto.com, and you log in and open an account, well, your account then and your platform is a little bit scary. If you're not a professional trader and you see stop losses, you see all these flashing lights,
all these candles,
all these candles up and down, and you can change it from second to minutes to 30 minutes, and so I know people. I've got clients that have gone onto those websites. They're all great, by the way, and I use most of them for my own different strategy. But for my buy and store strategy, there's no better place than just buying and storing in a safe, secure way with support, which those other platforms don't give me. I can't phone them up. I can't say, fancy meeting in London next week. I've got a big pot of money I'd like to invest into Bitcoin, but I want to make sure that I understand it for my own investment needs. And I can't phone them up.
And I saw an email from you guys last week, I think it was.
Was it from me specifically?
Yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't.
I write them.
I'm sure you got one of your minions.
I write them, then
to
somebody
do that
fixes
for
you.
them. A man of your stature doesn't write your own emails. But no, and at the bottom it said, send me a WhatsApp. And there was a link, and I thought, I'm going to press this. It doesn't go through to his WhatsApp. I don't believe him. And you press it, and it goes through to WhatsApp. And it opens a WhatsApp chat, and you can. And it sounds ridiculous in a way to say, but I was genuinely surprised. And I know you guys, so when I say I was genuinely surprised, I probably wasn't that surprised. But if I didn't know you as well as I know you, how many companies, especially some of these larger ones like Binance and things like that, how many companies send an email to all their clients and say, by the way, just press this button and you can chat to me?
None. And I am super passionate about making sure that stays with us. I used, I think it was not to you or one of my colleagues at the office that I used. You ever seen the movie Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
And they talk about less clients, more support. I use that phrase in our meetings when I talk about our the way we move forward. And I said, look, I would rather, we've got over the course of the world, we've got in excess of probably 80,000 clients that we look after, but I don't look after all them because they're on the other side of the world. From a European point of view, I would much prefer to only have 500 new clients in the next 12 months and look after them in the right way, as long as we obviously hit our own profit growth and our target markets. We need to keep the electric on and stuff like that. But less clients, more support, and little things like that on that email. Actually, we think nothing of that anymore. Put my WhatsApp number at the bottom of that email. We don't actually question that, but maybe we should and be proud of it, because it does come to my and the last 2 or 3 days has been a bit my WhatsApp. Now I know why my WhatsApp's a bit. I was like, this is a bit different. I thought it was because the launch of our use case of our coin on the 28th of June, but it's now because Andy, bless him, has put my WhatsApp at the bottom of an email. But look, yes, we do that. Nobody else does in this industry, and I'm proud of that. And does it come to me directly? Yes, it bloody does.
Don't you know it?
Yeah, don't I know it? And that's not because I just want it that way. I've got a team, I've got a business development head, I've got marketing manager, I've got a support team, customer service team that those messages can go to. But they don't need to. They're asking questions about when to buy, when to sell, should I buy. I don't give them advice. We're not allowed to, and I would never do that. We just give them factual answers to questions. Should I buy Bitcoin? That's up to you, sir. The fact that you're asking the question tells me you already know the answer to that question. But yes, we do set ourselves aside, and our user interface is going back to the core question. Our user interface compared to that of Binance and KuCoin and Crypto.com is the polar opposite. It's designed to not be scary. When going to buy a car, you kick the tires. When going to buy a house, everybody does it. You turn the taps on, don't you? When you go into to make sure the water's running. Everybody's done it. You're looking for cracks and things, and crypto should be no different. It's a serious investment that you should be buying with preparation. But when you go into these other platforms, all it will do is say BTC USDT, and there'll be a line through the middle, and you'll be like, okay, well, what does that mean? And you click enter, and have I bought it? What did I spend? How much did I spend? What was the charge? And it is scary. Luckily, you learn from your mistakes, I think. But by the time you've learned from your mistakes, you've lost £500. Not on our platform. Our platform is designed in such a way that's safe, simple, and secure. You will also be given, if you click I want to buy some Bitcoin, guess what? You can download the white paper. Guess what? It'll give you a video that describes Bitcoin in the simplest, easiest way that we think we can within 2 minutes.
It's not you talking, is it?
And it's not me, luckily. Luckily for the audience, it's not me talking. It's somebody far prettier than me. And then you've also got a synopsis of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is X, Y, and Z before you are able to buy. That's how it should be. And I think that's lost in the crypto world. A lot of platforms make their profit from people making mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people are, if you go on Binance and some of these tools do have their light version of inverted commas to make it simple, right? But in principle, they're driving you directly to their main product. Yeah. And you put what you believe to be an order in to buy that asset at a price that is going to be, hit straight away. Because why would you think otherwise? If you went online to buy something, you'd press buy and you would buy it. If you went into a shop to buy something, you scan it and you buy it. Why would you expect that you have to wait for it to maybe be matched off, or for the liquidity to be there? And Bitcoin's probably a bad example because obviously there's so much liquidity. Sure. But you start going down the realms a little bit, that it becomes a bit harder. And then you think you've bought the asset, but you haven't actually, because the order hasn't gone through. Yep. And all these different bits and pieces. And if you don't know what you're doing, and then you go back to, and the price just keeps going up and up and up. And then all of a sudden you go back 2 months later and you're like, yeah, I bought that Bitcoin or whatever. And it's gone up by 50%.
I did that in the early
And actually
stages.
the market never actually, that
order
never went through.
You don't own it.
And that is a scary thing for people that don't understand what they're doing. And immediately then what do they think? Crypto's a scam.
Yes.
Crypto's shit.
Yeah.
Because it's crypto's fault that, and it's not. And like you say, we're not slagging Binance off. We're not slagging, any of these providers off. But it's a very different mindset, right? Absolutely. As to what people. So I'm a user, obviously, not that kind of user before you start thinking. I'm a user of crypto platforms, and I currently use Binance. Why are you guys?
Okay. So I would ask questions.
Yeah.
I would say, why do you use Binance?
It's the only one I know.
Okay. What's your strategy? What are you buying crypto for? Would be my next question.
I've just heard that crypto's good, and I've got a bit of money that I'm happy to put into it. So
Okay, so you're new to crypto.
Yeah.
Your understanding, you would say, is there's a lack of understanding of exactly what it is. Have you read the Bitcoin white paper, sir?
I understand the fundamentals, but I've not read it cover to cover.
Okay, well, I always suggest you read Bitcoin fundamentals, the white paper cover to cover, 10 times, like I have, probably more. Because if you believe in crypto, then you believe Bitcoin will change the world. But more importantly, your strategy and the platform you're using is probably costing you more than it needs to. It's providing a lot of information that is irrelevant to you at your stage in investing into the cryptocurrency world. And you also, because you're new to it, you need support and help. We can provide that. We can provide it in spades. Guess what? You can have my WhatsApp. But also on top of that is your storage solution. So I'm assuming you're investing your hard-earned money that's super, super important to you.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And if it was lost, it could be financially detrimental to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So does your platform that you use currently provide you with full custody? Would be on my next question.
I mean, they hold my assets, so I believe so.
Okay. They don't.
Okay.
So if they were to be hacked and your one Bitcoin that you've now purchased is now stolen from that hack, sorry, sir, you've lost that money.
I can't go back to them and...
No, phone them up. Good luck. So we provide custody as well, and we're quite proud of that. And there's a cost to us as a business to provide that, but we think it's fundamental. You insure your house, you insure your car. I know you legally have to insure your car, but let's be honest, you would anyway now, especially with the amount of cars on the road. You insure your holiday. You insure everything and every part of your life. You insure the purchase of that hotel that because you've used your Amex card. You insure the flights. You insure everything.
Yep.
Why would you not insure your investments?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who are new to crypto buy on these platforms and they haven't got custody. So if there's something did happen, with respect, tough. And that shouldn't be the way. So unless you're a day trader and you know what you're doing and you're a professional and you don't have massive amounts sitting on any one platform for longer than an hour because you're a trader, because that's just how traders work, guess what? They don't have massive amounts sitting on platforms.
Just idle, yeah.
Yeah, it's just sitting there idle. But you're going to buy and store and ignore. Phrase, I made that one up. Buy, store and ignore. I love it.
Copyright that.
Copyright that one. Then you need a platform that provides that service for you in the best possible way. And that's why we're the right fit for you, sir.
I like that little role play. When you talk about custody, we briefly touched on it then, but what do you mean by custody for those that don't know what that? We all know what the word custody means.
Yeah.
But what do you mean in this sense, and where does we spoke about insurance briefly before this, but you talked about if I'm with Binance and let's say that this whole thing with the SEC and they go bust and I've got a lot of money on there and I can't get it off. I mean FTX. How are you different in that specific? Like what you say that you can custody it, you say that you're different, but what does it mean? So you guys go bust, what happens?
Of course. So again, I'm going to say the phrase, forget crypto. A business should be run in such a way that clients' assets should be kept away from assets of the company who provide that service. Crypto should be no different, but as we know, in recent history, that's not been the case. People have been using clients' assets without their knowledge. They've been putting them in liquidity pools, trading with them, whatever it may be, without their permission or without their knowledge. And previously that's been, okay, it's crypto, that's kind of what it is, that's how it works. Well, no, sorry, absolutely not. Crypto now is an investable asset class that will be, and when we talk about tokenization, you're going to invest into smart contracts and other assets or commodities using the same technology. So it needs to be safe. So we're different in terms of we have our own assets that we own for our own financial gain as a business. We own Bitcoin. Of course we bloody do. Why wouldn't we? We're a crypto bloody enthusiast. We own Ethereum. We own Litecoin, Cardano. We have our own assets. We also own those for liquidity reasons for clients that come and buy on our platform. But then we have you, who's just bought a Bitcoin from our platform. So what we then do is, okay, well, let's say we have 50 Bitcoins sitting over here as part of our own assets that we either use as liquidity for people to come and buy from us, or we have them instead of cash because we'd rather have Bitcoin instead of cash. Why wouldn't you if you're in this industry? Okay, so you've then just bought one Bitcoin. Now there's 49 left of ours. We'll take that away. and we'll put it into cold storage safely and securely away from our assets in different wallets. So if we get hacked with our live liquidity pool that's there ready and ready for people to pick up, all of a sudden they nick that 49 Bitcoin from us. Well, they haven't stolen yours, have they? Because it's separate. So we can now say, sorry, we were hacked. It happens. We left the back door open, whatever it may be. But don't worry, we've still got your Bitcoin safe and secure because it's in cold storage. Oh, thanks. Where would you like us to send it, or would you like us to wait because we're back now and everything's fine? But on top of that, guess what? We insure those cold storage facilities as well. What does that mean? In a nutshell, forget all the crypto talk. We indemnify our clients. So let's say our cold storage also got hacked, God forbid. Well, guess what? We indemnify you.
100%? 100%?
100%. Absolutely. And what we do is it's an ever-moving target. We have new clients come on board. Our portfolio is increasing value. So it's an ever-moving target. We have to change, the amount that's available month to month, quarter to quarter, depending on, if I have a great month with new client acquisition. Oh my God, all of a sudden now we've got another 100 million of assets under management. Well, we need to update our insurance policy to make sure that we cover all of our clients. And that, for some reason, in crypto isn't normal. And
the fact that I had to ask you,
yes,
and obviously, again, leading question, but the fact that I had to ask you, is that 100% insured, shows that actually most aren't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's even a question is insane, like you say.
Exactly. So for me, it's just ludicrous that you would, put 10, 15, 20% of your net wealth into an asset and then expect it to just not be looked after. I just think that's ludicrous. And I think that mindset needs to change quite quickly. We want to change that mindset as much as we possibly can with the little old us. But I think as it progresses, I think it will change, and it is changing. The discussions I'm having are a lot easier now. But I think it should be a question. It shouldn't even be a question, and we want to make it never to be the case.
And I've all of a sudden my experience of crypto has just gone up tenfold, right? And all of a sudden I now understand what wallet addresses are and things like that. So cool. I've obviously learned quite a lot.
You're welcome.
In the last 5 minutes. If I want to track what's held in that cold storage, can I do that?
Yes.
Can I see on a wallet my segregated funds?
Absolutely.
Because that isn't, and again, that isn't always the case, right? No. When you talk about funds going into an exchange and funds being in a pot, even if there's no illegitimate activity going on there, they go into a pot, and actually it's sometimes quite difficult to see exactly what are your assets.
Yeah.
And
that's a great question, actually. And my colleague Jay has a client that he looks after on a direct basis that asked that very question about 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing, this fella. He's he taught me a few things. He's great. But he said, look, you have the insurance policy, you have the cold storage wallet. Is it possible I can see the insurance document? Because there's no point just us saying, yeah, we do that for you. We've got to prove it. And he wanted us to do that because he knew what he was doing. And also he then said, can you provide me within the insurance document the wallet address of the cold storage you use? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Why would we say, if we say no to that, that's a red flag.
Yeah, biggest red flag.
Yeah,
possible,
we've only had 3 people ask us. Most,
annoying people like me.
Yeah, this guy. But this fella's, we're talking millions and millions of pounds of assets under management for one individual. He wants to make sure that every box is ticked. We get it, and we'll tick those boxes. Absolutely.
But also, as part of crypto is transparency, right? And if you aren't transparent, then you're going against everything.
There's a reason why people aren't transparent.
Is about. So, but it just going back really quickly, the interesting point around crypto is everyone's shouting at crypto for commingling in inverted commas of funds. And don't get me wrong, FTX was a terrible situation, and the guy clearly, fucked up massively, for want of a better phrase, right? Yeah. But commingling of funds happens every day in our banking system, in our traditional finance system, in a admittedly in a much more regulated, much more controlled manner, you could argue.
So-called.
But, look at SVB, Silicon Valley Bank and others that have gone bust. Even going back to, the Northern Rocks and people like that, right? These companies we trusted with our money, and they weren't doing what they said they were doing, or they didn't have it separate. So therefore we had to just rely on the government to bail them out or whatever it may be. And that, I think, is the interesting thing with crypto, is people blame crypto when actually a lot of what crypto is doing is what the traditional world has done. And it's just a lot more, in a sense, a lot more transparent and open what they are doing. And therefore, when it goes wrong, it's very public what goes wrong. Whereas with a bank or a traditional finance institution, you would have to wait years for forensic accountants to go in and really delve through all the, I mean, like Lehman Brothers and things like that. It would have taken years for them to go through all the books and records to understand what was going on. That doesn't happen with crypto. As soon as there's an issue,
it's real time.
Within a few days, everybody knows what the issue is and everybody can jump up and down. Even to the point, we're talking about Binance. You know, Binance, I messaged a client this morning that we work with. He is a trader, actually a trader. And he does all of his stuff on Binance. And I messaged him this morning and was like, just wanted to check you're okay because, you know, seeing what's going on with Binance. And like, you know, he was like, yeah, you know, actually all good. And then he was like, and if you look at this link, and he sent me this link, which was like an analytics board, you know, built out, showing deposits and withdrawals. And he was like, actually, you can see that deposits are actually increasing into Binance at the moment because clearly people are buying the dip or whatever you call it. Anyway, point being, within 24 hours of a situation arising, you're able to make a very solid decision on what you want to do with your money, and you can act on that. Do you know what I mean? And that is the joy of crypto. And if you know, long-winded way of me just rabbiting on now, but you know, going back to that transparency piece, if I can't see what I've got, if I can't see where I'm holding it and who I'm holding it with and how much I've got, et cetera, how can I possibly make decisions? So I think it's absolutely important, whether you've got £1 million, £10 million, or £100. If you want to be able to see where your assets are, you should be able to do that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a huge selling point. And in terms of, you know, this kind of conversation is, like us always, it's gone off a bit, but you know, the whole point of this is, you know, you think you're a trader, like you say, that thing of, you know, you believe because you buy Bitcoin every now and then that you are a crypto trader. Those people that think that, what would be your kind of message in a positive way? What would be your message to those people as to, you know, as tip or something like that to take away?
There's two sides to that coin.
Nice.
Is that people think they're a trader because they've bought a bit of Bitcoin, a bit of Ethereum. They've got 2 or 3 platform accounts and they buy every now and then. They buy, you know, at the end of every month when they've got some spare cash or when a big commission pot comes in, whatever it may be. But on the other side of that is that people are actually put off getting involved in crypto because they think they have to be a trader. Yeah. So what I mean, because the world of crypto has kind of indoctrinated itself as a trading asset. Well, no, it really isn't. For the masses, I think there's probably more people in crypto now today that buy it who aren't day trading on a daily basis, that buy it and just store it.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. I think if we did a poll on that, I think you're right. You know, most people, if you asked them how often they traded, and there's also a difference between, so as a business, you know, we take crypto as payment, right? So we do try and keep, you know, a chunk in crypto. Like you, we believe in crypto, and if we could be 100% crypto, we would. Yeah. Unfortunately, our suppliers and people like that don't allow us to.
Can't be yet.
But that would be a lovely goal. But we might receive Bitcoin as a payment, and we might, you know, receive that and actually want to use that for cash flow, and therefore we need it into the bank. So we have to obviously sell that and etc. So, but if you said to me, how many times am I selling or buying crypto? Might be a few times because of that scenario. How many times am I making an investment decision or a trading decision on that crypto? Is a very different question. Absolutely. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
And that for me is also an approach, is because if you just say how many times you buy and sell, they might go, well, I buy and sell loads. Well, okay, but why? Yeah. What's your decision making behind that process? You're using
crypto for a service for your
business.
You're not a trader.
Exactly. If I paid you 5 times this month in US dollars and you converted it each time into pounds because you wanted pounds because you operate in pounds,
I'm not trading.
Would you call yourself an FX trader?
No. I'm just swapping it to the currency that I need to then use.
And that's where, you know, and I wouldn't use, and I can't think of an example because I'm not in FX, but like I wouldn't use a high level FX trading platform to do my basic trades or basic buy-sell orders. I would use a very simplistic, let's take an example, Wise or Revolut, someone like that, where their product is very simple, very easy to use. You can exchange in the click of a button.
Yeah. No, I can agree with you more. Revolut's perfect for that. I've got a couple of holidays this month.
Obviously.
I'm very lucky. A little Amsterdam trip with the wife and some friends,
lovely.
and then a little golfing trip at the end of the month. And you need euros. So literally, Revolut, load the British pounds, press a button, and now I've got the euros, and I can just go and tap those euros. Because it's cheaper than tapping GBP.
Yeah, for sure.
At the POS.
Or
system.
back in the day when we used to have to go to the Bureau de Change or whatever it is, and
I'm
go.
very French, I like that.
Yeah. I'm very posh, and swap our currencies into notes, and then you get back and you've got 20 quid or 30 quid left, and you're like, I can't bother to change it back, and
my poor son's money box is full of random five euros, like $20 and stuff,
exactly.
Little trips and stuff. He's got more currency that he can't actually use, to go and buy that teddy he wants than he has in his money box.
But that's the thing. Whereas if that's in your Revolut and you've got 30 quid left at the end of it, and you go, do you know what? I'm probably not going to Europe this year, so I might just flip that back into pounds and buy my son that teddy or whatever it may be. You can't easily do that if you have to use this complicated platform that, etc. And it's the same with crypto. So I think that for you guys as well is why I like you guys, and why I really and the education, the support, all those bits and pieces is so important. We know if we give a client to you, we know they're going to get looked after.
Absolutely.
And that is the core of everything we do.
Yeah.
So as always, fun. There'll be many more times that you and I are talking, or you and our team will be talking. When you and Jamie talk, I feel it's a bit more serious. I feel like you actually talk about important stuff.
Jamie's a serious guy.
Yeah, when you and I talk, it just feels a bit more random.
Yeah, I'm a random guy.
Women's knickers, I think, came up once. And I think we'll leave it there.
Let's not get onto that.
We'll get told off by Andy.
Absolutely.
All right, good. Gareth, good to see you, mate. And I probably should say, actually, before we go, people obviously want to use you now. We'll link below.
Yep.
Link to the platform, but where can they find you if they want to, listen
Make sure
to
you
you?
put my WhatsApp chat.
I don't know why they want to listen to you, but if they want to listen to you,
they don't have to if they don't want to. They can just read about it on our website instead.
Where should they go to find you guys?
So go to wealth99.com. Wherever you are in the world, there's a domain specifically for you. Read about our website, read about what we're doing. It's not just crypto as well. We've got commodities on our website, gold, silver, and platinum. You can buy in an investable way through smart contracts. We call them the long-term bet, because again, different strategies. Wealth99.com, or visit us at Daxi.com, Daxi Chain, if you want to know more about us and our use case and the birth of us as a business. Or reach out to us on the support button. Reach out to us via Joe and the guys at Nefos and Miner. If you want to chat, ask some questions, please.
And as he said, proof's in the pudding. We'll put his WhatsApp in the show notes, and
fire it over.
If you want to spam him, please do. Thank you, Gareth.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers, guys.